Good morning. Hi, Susan.
Hi.
It is Saturday. It is only 8 a.m. in Denver. You guys all have like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. I have been up. I set my alarm for like about 4:45, and then I was like, no, not yet. But I did just finish my workout, the zoo workout. Carissa feels my pain because she is currently also doing 80-day. Her sound isn't working, so she's just pointing at me and I can't hear her. But I finished phase 1 of 80-day obsession today, so that's exciting. A third of the way done. But yeah, let's do some sparkles and farkles. If you don't know what sparkles and farkles are, it is something that I do with my church group. That's what we call it. It's basically just your high and your low from the week. Like what's something good that happened this week, and what's something that maybe was not so good, and you could use some prayer, just some positive thoughts around that we could pray for you about outside of this call. So I'll start. My sparkle is that I have done 2 hikes this week. And these don't have to be business related. They can, or they don't have, or they can be something completely different too. So last week, once nannying was kind of over, I was committed to, I'm going to do more hikes. Because I love hiking, and I literally probably for the last 9 months have not gone on a hike. And I'm like, what am I doing? And now that I have the time, I was like, I have to do more hiking. And so, and I've been going with friends, where normally I'm like, I like to just go by myself and I'll listen to a podcast. And I know it's so much better and a great way to connect with friends. So actually, I went on 2 hikes and a walk, and 2 of the hikes were with coaches. Well, one is Kate. She's camping this weekend actually. But so we went on a hike and just talked about, life, because we're friends, but also talked about coaching. So it was kind of like a little mentorship call or hike, which was nice. And then yesterday I went on a hike with my friend Jen, who is enrolling as a coach this weekend. So she had just a bunch of questions and things. So that was super exciting. And then I'm going on another hike today. So just feeling good about getting outside into the mountains, guys. It's it brings you so much energy. And then how about farkle? What kind of farkle do I got? It's always nice when you don't really have a lot of farkles. Well, then it's what's coming, I don't think I've had many farkles this week. I did realize, maybe this is kind of a farkle. Monday, or the past week and a half or so, I've been struggling a lot with bloating, and actually I have it right now, and I'm trying to figure out what it's from, because I haven't even eaten anything yet today. So that's kind of weird. But it could be just from last night, because I had pizza and ice cream. Gluten-free, dairy-free, and vegan ice cream. So then I'm like, well, what? It could just be the sugar, I think, probably. But anyway, I kind of realized that I was eating cauliflower all the time. And my body doesn't like it. I just think it doesn't like it all the time. I think I will be okay eventually to have cauliflower rice sometimes, but not for every breakfast. And then sometimes also for lunch. And then also apples. So if you guys saw, some of you are in my Undiet Your Life. So FODMAPs is I don't even know what it stands for. It stands for a bunch of weird big words. But basically it's how your body breaks down carbs into sugar, and normally it will go into your bloodstream, and that's what it's supposed to do. But if you don't process them correctly, they'll get stuck in your gut essentially, and it produces a lot of bacteria, and so it's just getting not processed correctly. And so I think that by eating a bunch of high FODMAP foods, cauliflower and apples are both high FODMAP foods, my body was like, what are you doing? You need to stop this. And for like 3 days, I hadn't had like the bloating that I had. So there's something to it. But it was kind of farkly because I love cauliflower rice is like the easiest thing in the world to eat and make. So I use it for everything, or I did. And apples and peanut butter is my absolute favorite.
Me too.
Treat or dessert in the world. Like that's what I eat all the time. Like every night I would have that. And so it was just, I think my body's just like, nope, take a break from all that. Your body's not liking it right now. Like you will be able to eat it again. I think I will, but just not like every day for everything. So that was kind of, but it's a little farkly for me. So farkly is a word too. It's not, neither one of those are words, by the way. So, who else wants to go? Sparkle. I'm going to call on you. Oh, I can't hear you again, Adriana. You're a stinking computer.
I'll go.
Oh, there you go.
No, okay. So mine were kind of coach related for the first ones, for the Sparkles. So I enrolled a new coach yesterday. Like she literally enrolled within 30 minutes of me sending the cart, which was surprising. I thought she would like look at it more and like, because most people I send the cart to, they don't even look at it for like a week.
Yeah.
But this one girl I connected with like over the week is from high school. And she was really happy I reached out to her, which was really nice because most people were like really rude actually these past 2 days to me, or like not responding. So she was like super appreciative, which was nice. And I signed her up for the 3-day refresh, and
You froze.
psychology. But
Say that again. You signed her up with what?
so I signed her up for the 3-day refresh and the Shakeology, but I feel like she wanted something like more, or I don't know. I haven't been comfortable like creating carts now. Like I send them a Google form, and like they check yes to everything. So like I was wondering like how you guys like create a cart based on their needs, like after talking to them even.
Okay.
So, like,
yeah, that's what
about that later too.
Adriana texted me yesterday, and I said, you know what, let's talk about that on the call today, because I think that would be helpful just to hear how all of us who've been in the business for a little while, like how we navigate that a little bit.
Cool. Yeah, I sent out a lot of oh, sorry, go ahead.
So did that help you? So you hit Success Club then, and your third coach.
So, yeah. Yay.
That's a sparkle.
Yay. Yeah, and I sent out 15 invitations yesterday, which was a lot for me because usually I send like 5 a day.
Yeah.
And some sparkles overall, like just not really feeling comfortable mentoring others. I don't know, just a general feeling. Like I just feel like I'm not like, I don't know enough. And like with going to I start grad school in a couple weeks for speech language pathology. So I'm feeling like stressed out about that, and I'm gonna like multitask both like coaching and school classes and stuff. But yeah.
Good. Yeah, we can talk more about the mentoring and the comfort.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can talk more about that. But definitely creating the carts and then mentoring, like that comfort level. Cool. I think that just comes from taking action, because you're never going to know it all. And you don't need to know it all. So, all right. Susan or Carissa, who's next? Are you trying to unmute yourself?
Okay, I can go. I switched to my computer because I got home, so my volume works. Well, I guess a sparkle would be, yesterday was my birthday, and it was fun. I mean, we were quarantined, but it was fun, so it was fine. Because honestly, like my husband, my son's birthday is the 14th, my husband's is the 20th, and mine's the 22nd. And my son's due date was the 21st. He was supposed to be born the day.
Oh my God.
So anyways, like this time of year, we're usually like racing around to end the school year. I still would have been in school this week and going back next week because we had snow days, and we would have been racing like to get to a baseball game and back home and in bed. So we typically don't do anything anyways for our birthdays. Except like unless it's on a weekend, we don't really have time to like go out anyways. So we just had, and it was finally nice yesterday. So it was just nice to be outside and stuff. And then I guess my Farkle is school is technically over. The 15th was my last contractual day. And I would say this whole week was probably the most stressful because now I'm on all these, I'm the president of our union. And so with all the changes that are likely coming, we have to change our contract with all the new working conditions that might be in place. And our district wants to like get a head start of what our remote learning plan will be for the fall, which I think is kind of silly because it could all change, but I'm on that. So I've had probably more meetings this week than I have in the last several weeks. And I'm like,
Oh,
this is not fun. And I'm like the tech person to plan some stuff. I don't know. I just feel like I'm on too many things, but
yeah.
so that wasn't very fun because everybody's like, you know how people just assume like when school's over,
Yeah.
teachers are like, oh, it's summer. And I'm like, no, especially this summer. I feel like it's going to be all, what's going to happen in the fall? What's going to happen in the fall? So
Yeah, which you don't know. No one knows.
no.
Like,
And there's a lot of districts, like I talked to my friends from other districts and they're like, why are you starting? Everything's going to change. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I don't, they want to be prepared. So I don't know.
that's hard. That, gosh, you sound like me back in the day. I was never the president, but I was on the union and I was on the tech committee and on every.
Well, and we bargained a 3-year contract last summer, and when we finally finished, it was the hardest contract I've ever done. I'm like, thank God I don't have to do it for 3 more years. And now I feel like we're starting over because all of our working, like we have to bargain it all. So, but yeah, the tech piece.
What,
I'm
you have
like,
to change it so that this kind of stuff is included in there?
yeah, because right now our working conditions say that we'll be in the building from 7:30 to 3:30, and you have this plan time for 40 minutes a day, and the contact time with students this much, and blah 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 blah. And none of that's gonna happen. I mean, our hours are gonna look different and all that. So I'm like, it's all. And then if it changes, like I'm like, so we're gonna change this now. And then what if because every day Pritzker has come out and been like, okay, well I'm gonna let you do this now because he's getting scared because he's got all these lawsuits. So I'm like, by the time we get to time school open, he's probably gonna be like, it's fine, just do it.
Right.
So
I know, because
I would love nothing more than for him to just be like, do whatever you feel comfortable with. But
yeah, I don't know. It's so crazy. Because like even the CDC is coming out. Did you see that new thing? Like it doesn't live on anything. And so we've all been like, that's what everyone was most scared of, right? I think is like it's living on things and then you're not knowing where you're getting it from. So
yeah, our school nurse, before, like when this all started going down, she was supposed to go on spring break and nothing had been canceled yet, but literally like the next day it did. And I kept asking her because at that point Punta Cana hadn't been canceled and I still wanted to go. And I asked her, I was like, what do you think? And she was like, honey, I believe in washing your hands and I believe in Jesus and that's all you need to know. And I was like, okay. She was like, I'm still going on my trip. Well, then I don't know. Hers was within the United States. So I don't know if she ended up still being able to go or if it got canceled, but she was like, from a nurse's perspective, I was like, tell me, is this really serious? And that's what she said. I was like, okay. Well, and then everything got canceled.
And then everything changed so quickly. It's still changing. Yeah, so that is sparkly when you think you're like, school's over. Nope.
Yeah, so now I'm on this tech thing. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to be asking Amanda all these questions. And then my sister-in-law is like the tech coordinator in her district. So I'm like, between all the connections I have, I was like, I feel like I can figure this out.
For sure. I'll help you. For sure. All right, Susan, girl. How was your week?
I'll do mine the opposite. So last week was brutal. Like I just had a really hard time with like my mental health and I just kind of shut down for the week. It was just kind of rough. But then Monday I went to therapy and just kind of took a lot of time for myself this week and a lot of self-care. We opened our pool, so just been kind of like hanging out in the backyard with the girls. And so I guess my sparkle would be that I'm feeling a lot more like myself now, which is nice after kind of going through that. So that's really all I got, though. Like I really just shut down from everything the last couple of weeks. So I don't. I've been working out every day.
Yeah,
barely been working my business though.
that's all right. It happens. Give yourself grace. You got a lot going on, but we're getting it through it. We're getting over it. Right, girl?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What do I don't really have a lot. That's why I was like, ooh, this is where, like, when I'm like leading the call every week, I'm like, I don't have a ton to share with you guys every week. So then I'm like, well, what did I learn this week? Which wasn't a ton, but I will say, and I'm going to say it all over and over and over, those action hours are just game changers. Like the ones that I've shared that say like TBB leadership at the top, there's like 3 a day. And I try to do at least 1 a day. I even just like, I finished my workout late this morning at like by like 7:30, even though the call started at 7. I just jumped on for like 20 minutes and just like got some connects done. And it just like makes me just like work. And you always learn something new. And it's like we know what to do. So it's not like you don't know what to do. You know what to do, but it's just getting on there and and hearing what other people do or how they do it. Because sometimes the action hours are just connections. Sometimes they're invites. Sometimes it's the whole like adding people and connecting and inviting. So you never know what you're going to get. And so it's kind of nice to just jump on and do it in a kind of a different way, you know? So
I find they're really good for like self-limiting beliefs too. Like, so for me, one of my biggest things is like, I always doubt it. And I'm always like, oh, I don't know if I want to send that invite, or I don't know if I want to do this or don't. And I feel uncomfortable sometimes, but when I do the power hour, I kind of just turn my head off and I'm just like, okay, well, they said do this, so I do this. Like, and you just follow it without overthinking. Really helps me.
So true. It does. And like, and they'll talk about that too. Like, just go, just say it. Like, don't worry about it. Don't think about it. That's so true. It does really help with that. Because I feel like when I'm trying to do it myself, I do overthink more too.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm on there, I'm just like, boom, boom, how much can I get done as quick as possible? So that's good. Let's see. I should start sharing these calls with you guys more, but my mastermind, but so it's like, it's different at different levels, but my mastermind, there's a best of the best call every Friday is what they call it. And it's basically like some top coaches sharing, and we get to ask them questions. So like I'm allowed to invite like 1 stars and above to come to the call with me, but then we always get the recordings. So I should just start a file of those or something in the team page, because it's just like good information. Like Courtney Dunker, I don't know how to say her last name. She's like my favorite person in the world. She was on the call yesterday and she hit a couple weeks ago. So she's in 15-star qual right now. And a couple of weeks ago, her team, she personally sponsored, I believe. It might have been her team, but I'm pretty sure it was personally sponsored. 19 diamonds in 1 week. And she was like, and a lot of them were new coaches within the last 3 months. And I was like, what? So anyway, I just love her. She has a super big heart for Jesus. And like, she just talks about her faith a lot, which I relate to. And it's kind of the direction that I'm kind of going towards more. And so I'll share that call. Like I said, I'll put together, because I have most of them at least in our thread, or I can find them, but start a file of like these kind of top coach calls. And if you ever want to be inspired or listen to them, do so. Cause I find them helpful. Many times I'm like, I'm on the call, cause it's a big Zoom call where we do it. And many times I'm like listening, but also maybe doing something else. But sometimes I'm taking notes. It just depends. But it could be just something that you listen to when you're on a walk or whatever, getting ready. Michelle Myers, we also had on a call this week. She has the devotional, She Works His Way. Is that hers? Yeah. So she's like a pastor's wife. She's been a coach for like 10 plus years. She was just like so simple in everything that she talked about. And I was just like, you are you are just like something. I just liked her a lot. And she just, a big thing she talked about was just like customer service and just like being there for your clients and your coaches and like just offering really good customer service. It sounded like she was very, very organized, which I would guess she'd have to be because she has this other company and her Beachbody business and, you know, but she just kept things very simple. Hi, Megs. Everyone's got these cute pigtails these days with the long hair. So cute. Oh, and gosh, I never even thought of this. So have you guys done like, what do they call them? Collections on Instagram at all? Where you can like save people's profiles like in a collection so that they're like your people that you want to continuously go to and connect with. You can do that on Facebook, and I didn't realize it. So you can create like lists, which funny, like I remember I did this a long time ago. You can create like lists for different people you want to either connect with, or like you can create a list of all of your customers, and then it'll show you when you go to their list. I got to figure out how to do it. When you go to their list, then you just see their feeds. I remember doing this years ago, and I was like, oh, but she talked about that. She does that. She's like, because I think she's like supporting your customers outside of your group, like on their personal like profiles, on their personal posts is really good customer service. It's really good, like staying on top of their lives outside of your group. And I was like, you're so freaking right. Like, you know, and even with your coaches too, because many times, you know, when I'm working and I'm trying to do connects from like, I've been trying to do this more as well, like from my likes, comments, and stories, when I'm trying to either connect or invite, I just look for everyone but my coaches and customers. And I don't think that's the right way to do it. Like I'm thinking like I need to serve, like Ashley Molstead said, serve the people at your table first. So make sure you go comment and message people on your stories for your coaches and your clients, because it's just as important, if not more important, to serve them. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like light bulb moment, right? Like just make sure that you're not ignoring all them because you just want the new people, but really making sure that you're commenting. Kate DiMatteo is so good at this. She always comments on my posts. Almost every single post she comments on. And I'm like, she's so good at that. And I am like so quick to just like, okay, you know, like I see it and I'll like it, but I don't comment. And I think if we all are commenting on each other's stuff, how much like more proof is that, and how much like more of an algorithm, and we'll see each other's stuff more, and other people will see our stuff, and just like there's so much to it. You just feel, I love when I see Kate's comments. I'm like, oh, thank you, you know? And I'm like, I need to be better about that. So that is a goal of mine, and then Michelle Myers saying that and creating, so you can create these Facebook lists. So then when you don't go to just your regular big old Facebook feed, you can go to like your coach's list and it'll just show their posts. So then you're just able to see their posts. Or you can create like a customer's list, and you can just their posts are going to be in there, not everyone and their mother. So let's go in there right now together and see if we can figure out. I need to remember how to do it. Does anyone remember how? I
just was looking at it. Maybe I interrupted somebody else.
No,
along the side, well, I'm on my computer, and you know, along the side where it has like your groups and events and everything, if you go down to explore, it has a friends list, and I can see my friends list that I made a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
I vividly remember you talking about that, and I was like, that's a good idea.
Oh, gosh, look at all these.
Yeah.
Apparently I did do this. So yeah. So cool. Because then even like it's so true because even people who like here as you used to be a coach or your top 10 customers, like the people you really want, that's like your collections on Instagram. It's the same thing. Those people that are your like top prospects right now or your top coach prospects. I have like different, wow, look, Fit Warriors personally sponsored. So then when you go to one of these, I'm like, I don't even know. Then it's, oh, there's nobody in that list. So that doesn't do us any good. Let's see. These were people that were in an old Midsummer Slim Down group, apparently. So now I'm just seeing her post where I never see her post on Facebook. So I wouldn't have even seen that to comment on it, right? Apparently she's the only one posting, but then you'll know like the people that are posting on their Facebook. Oh, I love this so much. So I'm going to get myself organized. And so, yeah, so explore friends lists and then you can create different lists. I am happy. This is exciting. So cool. Because then you can just support those people more. Oh, funny. This girl just signed up as a coach and she was in an old group. I love it. All right. Well, that is an exciting new thing. Adriana, let's talk about, can you ask your question again? I'm going to stop sharing this. About creating a cart.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I wrote it down because my mind is kind of like all over. What did I say? Oh yeah, how do you decide what to put in a customer's or coach's carts based on like when they check like a bunch of stuff on a form?
Yeah, so you're using a form. I don't always use a form, so that's one. It's because mine's a lot of conversation. Does anyone else use a form? Or mostly conversation, which a form is great. Like it really is. And I wish more people would use a form. I'm meaning that I wish people would fill out my form. Most people won't go fill out my form. And so I end up just having a conversation, but you're having a lot of luck with people going and filling out your form. And so then after they fill out the form, are you having additional conversation with them or are you just trying to go right to the cart?
Yeah, well actually I do go right to the cart and then I send them a message saying like, okay, I created one based on like what your goals are.
Okay. It could be, so like this girl that you signed up, what is this the one that said she wanted like everything?
Yes, yeah, so she wanted a 3-day refresh, she wanted a structured program, she wanted the beach bars. Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
That's all she wanted.
And
so I have another girl that wants like literally everything: beach bars, pre-workout, post-workout, Shakeology.
Yeah, girl.
Refresh, and I'm like, I don't know, like what to put.
Yeah, I mean, I would put it all in there, and then, but in your message to her, so you don't know like what to choose. I think is the first thing. Like, how do I get her the best value? I think, right? Like for the cheapest cost is I think part of it. And then the other part is, okay, now she's going to get this cart that's probably $300. And then what happens from there? So let's first talk value. I always go in and like test it out myself. I'll like go in a Team Beachbody and create a cart. So outside of share a cart, I'll just go to like, I'm shopping for myself. But I'll make sure I'm not signed in because otherwise it'll give me the coach price. So just make sure you're not signed in and then I'll test it out. So if like, for example, if somebody wants workouts, Shakeology, and the performance line for just to start, there's a mega challenge pack that gets them all of that. That is a lot cheaper than like doing them separately. So you'd want to do that. And then like if they wanted 3-day refresh or something, those things are at a huge discount when you do a challenge pack. So you'll be able to put those in and it'll automatically discount it for them. And then, so there's that. I think just like knowing, starting with the challenge packs and then adding on anything that's like not in a challenge pack. So for example, like the girl you did the 3-day refresh challenge pack, I probably would have done, and she wants workouts too. But
Not really, because she only has she doesn't even have like she has like limited equipment and stuff. But I did send her 2-week trial.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Let's start with that. That's good. So I think that was a good one. With this girl that wants like everything, I would then in my message to her with her cart say, hey, you know, based on your goals, I created this cart that has everything that you said you wanted. It may be a larger expense than, or I don't even know. How would you guys say that? Because I don't want to be like, I don't know if you want to spend this much, you know what I mean? But like, if this is too much for you, please let me know, because we can definitely scale that back. We can edit your cart, and, you know, I can help you figure out what is the best thing for you to get started with.
I usually just say, like, if they, like, I automatically start with the basics, obviously, and then I just throw in my recommendations, like Energize, and then depending on what they say about their nutrition and just fitness level in general, either way, I end up usually recommending Recover, because if they're brand new, I'm like, oh girl, you're going to be so sore. So you definitely want the Energize, because we already talked about that, but like Recover is really going to help you there. Or if they're like, oh my gosh, I love working out, I'm going to be like, all right, well then you need to do a hard program like 80 day, and then you're definitely going to be sore. So like I throw that in there. And then if nutrition was a big thing, or they're busy, which most of the time that comes up, I'm like, so beach bars are really helpful too, because I always have one in my purse. So like I just kind of throw that in there. I'm like, so here's the deal. Like, you can try this stuff along the way, or if you think you're ready to go all in, the best value, because it's going to save you in the money in the long run, and then you can recommend the big fat thing, and you realize, and then I just go, what do you think about that? And if they're like, wow, that's more than I want, you go, okay, so let's hold off on some of this stuff. And then, you know, you just kind of go down from there. Now, do I always do it like that? No, because it kind of depends on how the conversation goes. And you can sometimes tell the way they're like, what they're saying is, if they're like super timid and they just want to start, then I'm like, all right, this girl just needs the basics. And I usually always recommend to start with at least like the All Access with Shakeology, and then sometimes add Energize, especially when I throw the coach option. I'm like, so when you add Energize, it's automatically 10% off. And then if you sign as a coach, you get the extra discount. So it's like $20 some. Like, it's so cheap if they buy it at coach sign up. So anyways, there's just a lot of ways. Sometimes I just play around and share a cart, because sometimes they'll be like, oh, 3-day refresh is like super cheap if you buy that with a challenge pack too. And kind of looking at the differences based on how the convo's going. And if they seem pretty open and excited, then I'm more willing to offer more stuff and show my excitement. But if they're kind of like, I don't know, then I'm like, all right, we just need to start with this. And then eventually they're like, what's that stuff everybody's always drinking in the morning? I'm like, remember Energize, you know? So at least you've had that conversation. They'll be like, oh yeah, you told me about that before. I think I'm ready for that. So either way, I mean, some people are fine with paying more in the long run just because they don't want to go all in with like a big lump sum of money, even though it is discounted. It's just like, well, I don't want to spend all that right now. I don't know if that was helpful, but
Yeah, that was, thank you.
So maybe what you're saying is for her not to send the cart right away.
Yeah, I mean, the form I think is amazing. I think that's a great conversation starter, because in the form, even like if you put Energize, I would put in parentheses like AKA my go-go juice or whatever, because whenever you say it like that, they're like, oh, what's that? Like, always. In my stories, I always share Energize, but just this week after I share that, I've been sharing all the promos about mixed berry, where it actually says like what it is, and then a poll. And I've had 5 people reach out to me going, okay, I want that. And they've never ordered anything, but they want the energy. And I'm like, duh. So anyways, I would do the form first for sure, because some people really like just clicking all the things, and depending on how you set it up, like I'm interested in this, or like you could do the rating scale, like how interested are you in this thing? And they're like, oh, I definitely want this Energize, but the Recover, I don't know, because maybe they don't know what it is. And then there's your conversation starter to go, okay, I got your form, so let's kind of look through it. Looks like you're really interested in the Energize. That's awesome. I love it too, and then you just go through the thing. And then if there's something they weren't interested in, you go, so like, you're not worried about like the soreness part. You think you're going to be good there. And then they might go, oh, well, I don't know. Should I be, like it's just a way to start your conversation and feel them out. And if they're like, yeah, I don't want that yet, you're like, okay, cool. And we'll move on to the next thing. And then you know for sure what they want. And you go, okay, so based on what you really want, this package includes all that stuff. And so, you know what I mean? And then if they get to the price and they're like, oh, yeah, no, then you go, okay, well, then let's just start with this. And then if you want to add this stuff later and try it out, you can. And if you sign on as a coach, you'll get the discount on that too. So that when you are ready, you'll be saving some money. It's just going to help you navigate the conversation, I think. So I think the form is great to start with, but then you got to talk about it.
Yeah. I think using the form, but then having the conversation before sending the cart, I think will help you know a little bit more about what they really want. Because then you've had some carts that are just sitting there and they're not doing anything. And I think that might be because there's that conversation being missed, a little bit more questions and understanding for them, like what exactly everything is, and just having a little bit more of a conversation. So like you can, for your own knowledge, so that as you're talking to them, like how much is it going to be, like what, go do that yourself. Like I said, like go in and shop for them, but don't create the cart and send it to them. Shop for them so that you have it in front of you, so that you can tell them, okay, based on what you want, based on all this that we've talked about, here's how much is it going to be. And then they can come back maybe with their price objection. And then like Carissa said, you can be like, okay, well, maybe let's just start with this basic pack. And then you'll be able to send them the cart. They'll already know the price because you've told them the price. And then they'll have their cart and then and then you can send them the cart.
One of the things I used to do that helped me a lot was after having that conversation, like if they didn't get all the things, I always send like a little thank you card or something to people who sign up with me. So whatever like that thing was that they were really interested in but was too expensive, I always send them a sample, because then they get to try it and then they'll most likely come back and buy it. So like if they're talking about Energize, but they're like, oh, let's hold off for now, then I'll send them a sample of Energize, because then they try it for themselves, right? Or if they went with Performance, I'll send them a sample of Shakeology.
That's true. That's so good. I actually just ordered, when I ordered mixed berry, I ordered a box of berry, lemon, and fruit punch to do the 3-pack of samples to people. And speaking of that, I'm horrible at shipping gifts. And so like all of you probably haven't gotten enough gifts and things from me, but I just ordered a bunch of envelopes. I ordered a scale. I ordered stamps.com so that I don't have to go to the stupid post office.
Okay, once you do all that, tell me what to do, because half the reason I don't send stuff is because I hate going to it's just an extra stop that I gotta drag my kids in after school with me, and right now I do not want to go to the post office at all. Like you gotta go in and then they weigh it and I'm like, this is ridiculous.
You gotta write it out and blah blah blah. It's a pain in the butt.
I always see Lindsay and I keep meaning to ask her and then I forget. Like sometimes on her story she's like, I'm just in her little cute little turquoise things, I'm making all my new coach things, and I'm like, how does she do that? And then I think you could
so on stamps.com
house and pick it up or something.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
you can
I would totally do that, but I don't know how.
Yeah, so I asked her, I said, okay, dude, tell me, because I want to be better about this. I need to be better about this. And I don't do it because I don't want to go to the post office.
Right. It sounds so silly, but I'm like,
so silly. But it is. So she's like, I bought the 5. So stamps.com, you enroll. And I don't even know if it costs anything. I want to say it might be like $5 or something. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I just wanted it, so I didn't even pay attention. but you order a scale. So then you have a scale at home, because that's my other thing. Like, oh, I can send a freaking greeting card,
Right.
but then I never have stamps. That's the other issue for me. I never have stamps. So yes, I could send a greeting card, but I don't have stamps. So like with stamps.com, you weigh it yourself, so then you know how much it weighs, and you literally go in there and say, okay, this is sending to this person. It's this much weight, and it tells you how much postage. You print it off, and I said, did you buy special labels? That was my other big question. She's like, no. It prints it off on a piece of paper, and I tape it to the package, and then I tell somebody to come pick it up. And
Okay.
I'm like,
Because the only
you
thing
can
I'm good
put it
about
in.
is if I can get it from Amazon. Like if I buy a new coach a book,
Yeah.
then I can buy it from Amazon and have it shipped directly to
Have it
that
shipped
person.
directly.
I'll do that all day long.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, well, I should probably send them some of my actual products. Or like I ordered stickers finally, like, and I'm like, okay, those I think can go in a card with a regular stamp. But yeah, like samples or
and like just a
just
handwritten
little
card. Like how much
Yeah.
do you love getting a handwritten
it's so
card?
much better than just being like it came straight from Amazon with that little,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. So
okay,
I'll let
I'm
you
doing
know
that. I'm totally gonna do that.
when I get them, and I'll like walk you guys through the process, because I'm excited to do that. So I mean, because Lindsay's been doing it forever, and she's so good about it. And yeah, I guess you can have it picked up, she said, but I think you can just go put it in the outgoing, put it in like, for me, we have like just like an outgoing mail slot in my apartment, but I don't know if you can just like put it in your mailbox for the regular mail lady to get it. I guess you could. I don't know. I don't know how that works. So we may have to ask Lindsay about that. Because I think mine with my apartment complex would be a little bit different.
I don't know if I have that up here.
Oh yeah. You probably do. I don't know. I'm sure you do, because I'm sure I can ship stuff to you. So it's just called stamps.com. And I think you can print regular stamps on there too. Like you can buy labels for stamps and for other things on there. You can buy like a whole bunch of stuff on stamps.com. But
I think I need a new printer too. My printer kind of sucks.
oh, I just bought it. I didn't have a printer. That was the other issue. I didn't have a printer before.
So it prints,
bought one.
like you said, it prints on a piece of paper and you just
Yeah.
tape it on. I don't have to buy sticky lid. Oh my God. Okay.
No. Yeah, my friend who I buy that whitening toothpaste from that one company, whatever, she just sent me something, and I'm assuming she uses a similar service, but I'm not sure. But she had like a sticky label for hers. But I was like, Lindsay said she just tapes it on. I was like, okay, that sounds easy. I can do that. And I bought like just some padded, a few different sized envelopes, like pretty ones, pink or purple or teal or whatever colors I bought. I just ordered them the other day, so they're not in here yet. So that's fun and exciting. How did we even get there? Oh, I think because Susan said about sending the samples for like, yeah, so for somebody who is like, oh, I'm interested in all this, and then they decide, oh, I don't really want all that yet because that's a lot of expense to start with, then you can send them a sample of something. It's a good idea. What else? Was there another question? Did I answer that? I feel like there was another one. Just about like, oh, mentoring. That was the other one. I think like with mentoring people, honestly, like you're never gonna know it all. Like, what was it? I was just reading this somewhere about like knowledge, and now I can't remember what it is. Yeah, knowledge is power, but it's not as much as action. Like you can know everything in the world, but if you don't take action on it, then it doesn't matter, right? Like yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, go.
So like to get coaches started, I know we have the Ignite Your Business Bootcamp to get them just comfortable with sharing within that group and like the vitals. But then are you also recommending that they just go through like the units on Beachbody Champions or do something else like when they're ready to like really learn something? Or what do you think?
So in Ignite Your
There's
Business,
so many different things that like options throughout the years, and I'm like, which one should I direct this person to right now? I don't.
Yeah. So within Ignite Your Business Bootcamp, we do tell them to go through the Beachbody Champions unit. And then for me, a lot of times it's so much one-on-one. It's just really helping them with where they're at. I do have, and I think I put this in Worthy Warriors. I have a folder I have an email series. It's like 6 emails that they get. Honestly, I don't know that it's quite working because I don't know, like I have a newer coach who wants to work, but I don't know if she's gone through it the way that I wanted it to go. But that also, it's so dependent on the person. Like, you know, like Adriana's been a coach for about a year, but she's now just kind of really diving in and really going kind of all in my opinion. So I really think it just depends on the person, and knowing what they need and what they want, you know?
Okay. That helps. Yeah.
Just like with mentoring them as a customer, it's really just holding them accountable, just like checking in with them at least once a week personally and just be like, how's everything going? Have you been doing your workouts? Have you been drinking your shake? Like, what questions do you have? Like that kind of stuff. It's really just being that kind of support system for them and just really kind of checking in on them and seeing how they're doing. You know?
Yeah.
Carissa, are you just about to do your workout? Did you not do it yet? Oh, I could tell. You guys have a conversation. I need to go to the bathroom real quick and then we'll finish this up. I'll be right back.
Oh my gosh, so much pressure. We need to have a conversation.
She's like, talk amongst yourself. Isn't that?
Oh my gosh. She mentioned my pigtails, but I don't know. And Doug said they were fun this morning too, but I'm like, I don't know. I usually get my hair cut pretty short in the summertime, but I am so ready to get my children's hair cut. Like I will sacrifice. I will grow my hair out for locks of love if I can get my kids in to get haircuts.
Cody doesn't want to get his hair cut. Like his is kind of like, I mean, it's kind of like Luke's where it's like the big swoop, but like he needed one right at the beginning of the quarantine. And of course we didn't get in. So now it's really bad. So like a couple weeks ago, it was driving him crazy under here because it was so hot. So he had Jacob like take the clippers and just put it on whatever, you know, blade or whatever and just go underneath. So it wasn't too bad, but he did not want the top cut. Like he's got it all like, you know, and he like keeps like playing with it and swooping it. And I'm like, dude, if you get the curling brush and the blow dryer out and start doing that, then we're done because I can't handle that.
Luke's naturally just falls straight forward.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I haven't seen
He's got a little body in his because he's got my
Luke,
hair. So his is all like thick and like swoopy. It actually doesn't look all that bad. Like I feel like
it doesn't.
If he put some like gel or something in it, I think it would look really kind of cute actually, but I don't know.
Well, if Luke was
we're
like
not talking about my husband doesn't have hair, so we're talking about our children, not
I love it.
haircuts and how they have the boy, because that's the thing. Well, it kind of was. I don't even know what the thing is now. It was like the Justin Bieber with the big,
right?
And that's kind of what he has. Then it was the hard part thing. I don't know who had, but he never wanted the hard part. Now I don't even know what the style is. The style right now is quarantine hair for everybody. So. That's it.
All right, guys. I always have to go to the bathroom. It's like the biggest problem I have. And then my back is just on. So yeah, so you guys haven't gotten haircuts. I got my hair done on Wednesday. Woohoo!
My mother-in-law went to Ford County, which apparently Ford County is the county next to us, and they're like, nobody's getting arrested for anything. So just go and go about your lives.
Really?
And so she went and she had a hair appointment and she had a dentist appointment, but her dentist appointment was in Champaign. So something must be going on with the dentist.
Just open. Jacob had a dentist appointment the other day.
Yeah.
That's
So
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know.
It's so funny because like the more and more like certain counties, like their sheriffs or whatever are speaking out and they're like, we will just turn the other way. We don't care. But then that doesn't mean that like, the state police aren't going to come in and do something. But I think they're kind of like, I don't care.
Yeah.
That's how I would be. I'd be
They
like, I have
shouldn't.
better things to do. Like, we're
Yes.
trying to actually fight crime.
Well,
And like shutting down a bridal shop for selling a wedding gown illegally is not what I'm worried about right now. Like,
Right.
I would be insulted if I was a police officer right now. Like, really?
Yeah.
yeah.
What's
Okay.
Mark saying? Like, I would just be curious. What's his
He
take
has
on it?
little old ladies
neighbor.
calling him. He has little old ladies calling him and asking him to like go get toilet paper at Walmart for him. So he'll do that. Like,
You're
yeah. I mean, he doesn't care. Like, they're not out looking for people. I mean, if it's obvious, like if someone's out playing on a playground, he's got to be like, hey, you need to go home. And then he's been invited like to family gatherings that are not allowed. And he's like, look, I can't be seen at a thing like that, but like, and you probably shouldn't do it, but like, is anybody gonna come? I mean, I don't know. There might be neighbors that call and report you, and if that happens, then yes, the police officer is gonna have to come over and say, hey, there was a complaint. But if nobody calls, then they're not just going around looking for people. But yeah, if somebody calls and we don't show up at least, then that makes us look bad. So, but like, obviously he's my next door neighbor, and hey, they've got 3 boys, and so like our kids have been playing together this whole time because they're like, our backyard, like there's no fence. Like, how would we even keep them apart? You know what I mean? So yes, they've been following the quarantine
boys.
rules, but as far as like other stuff, but like he's everywhere. He gets to go to Sam's early on Sunday mornings at like 6:00 in the morning. So he buys us our toilet paper. Anything we need, because he's the front line, whatever they're called. They open early for the police officers and stuff. So he goes every Sunday morning to get all the things. And if we can't find something, he's like our drug dealer to go get toilet paper or steak or whatever is like the thing that nobody can find.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny.
Awesome. That's hilarious.
The thing I like to joke with him about the most is that Mondays are his work from home days, and he's the detective. And I'm like, so what kind of clues do you find around your house to like crack the case? Because you're working from home. And he's like, that's not funny. I'm like, I think it's hilarious. What clues are you?
That's funny.
He doesn't think
Well, I keep saying, like, why hasn't Illinois and Chicago done things different? Like in Colorado, quote unquote, opened a month ago. But Denver was like, our Denver mayor was like, no, we're not ready. Denver is not ready. So we are staying closed for 2 more weeks, like stay at home. Now we're still only at safer at home, which is like salons have opened and you can be in groups of 10 or less. But Denver took like 2 more weeks to get there than Colorado did. And I'm like, why isn't Illinois doing that? Chicago is a totally different beast than you guys are. Like, why can't Lightfoot like do something different than Pritzker?
I'll tell you why. Because if they do that, then everybody from Chicago is going to jump on 57 and drive until they see cheap housing, which is Rantoul, Illinois, and they're all going to move here. Because that's what happens when people can't live in Chicago anymore for whatever reason. They get evicted or they can't, whatever. Then they just go find somewhere else to live. So the majority, I don't even say majority, but like if you're a homeowner and you're not going to probably move. But if you're somebody who just has you're just going to leave.
Yeah,
probably. If you can just go to the next county next door and find a cheap place to live there, just like you have, they're just going to leave.
That's true.
That's usually one of the reasons. That's where a lot of our
families,
kids come from is Chicago, because it's just 2 hours south off 57 right off the exit.
Right.
And
well, I know everyone from Chicago has been going to Indiana for dinner or anything. And
which that's why I'm kind of like, if everybody's just going to do whatever they want, why can't we just say, hey, everything's open. If you feel comfortable going, go. If you don't feel comfortable going, stay home.
No, right. And that's
same with school. Like, if you feel comfortable sending your kids, go. If not, we'll send some things home and we'll do the best we can. But otherwise, if you're coming, it's going to be normal school.
Yeah.
But at this point, it's going to be more fun to stay home than go sit with a mask all day and you can't get out of your seat and there's no recess. And
no, that sounds horrible.
You don't want to do that. At least at home, you can get up when you want and go to the bathroom. But at school, it's going to be like a prison.
Yeah, no, that does not.
Can't
That
happen.
sounds
There's
horrible.
no way that can happen. So
All right, girls. Let's do a boomerang. This was a good call. I think we all learned a little something new. I know I did. All right.
I'm so glad Christmas Mickey is gonna make it in the boomerang.
I know. I just put my hair up in my 3,000 ponies.
I love it. It's so cute. You're like on fat. What's the word I'm looking for? You're in style, girl. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, sweet. Thanks for joining me this morning, girls.
Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go hiking and a nice long hike today. I'm excited. And then it's
Keep
gonna rain.
posting pictures.
It's gonna rain like crazy tomorrow and Monday. So today's the last nice day. And I hear you guys are getting rain like crazy in Illinois.
For a week.
Yesterday was finally good, but then it's
Yeah.
supposed to, I think, come back.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
Susan, you want to stay on? Okay. Bye,
Bye,
girl.
guys. Bye.